So tell us who you are and who you're affiliated with.
Okay, my name is Brenda Troy, and I am affiliated with New Salem Baptist Church, Cleveland Avenue. My husband, Dr. Keith A. Troy, is the pastor, and I am a co-leader in labor with Dr. Troy.
Okay. Now tell us some of the initiatives you've worked with the church and in the Linden area.
Okay, in the Linden area, I am responsible for leading the human trafficking sex trade. We've been out in the marketplace, in the street, in the Linden area, trying to minister to the ladies that have found themselves affected by human trafficking. We've been doing it for 9 years now in this area, and I would say that it has been a successful event with trying to teach the women that there is another avenue. Human trafficking is not the only way to make money or not the only way to survive.
So what has been some of your experiences with the women, as far as any interesting stories, or what kind of progress have you seen?
I would say that we have a young lady, of course I won't be able to mention her name, that found herself caught in human trafficking. A lot of people think that they want to do this. The difference between human trafficking and prostitution is a desire, you make the choice. Human trafficking is forced sex labor. An interesting story is a young lady who found herself involved in human trafficking. She was definitely a professional woman at first, came home from work one evening and found that her husband had taken everything they owned, the 3 children, and left. And this lady was left with nothing. So she found herself walking the streets, and one evening an interesting gentleman pulled up beside her, encouraged her to join him in his car, and of course she was hysterical, finding that she lost her family. He took her to get something to eat. When they were at the restaurant, he was consoling her, comforting her for her loss. She left the table to go to the restroom. While she was away, he put methadone on her food. When she returned back from the restroom, she finished eating her meal, and at that time she felt something was going on with her. But she knew then it was too late. She had eaten the food, and now she is high on meth. So that evening, he had her join the rest of the women in his little harem, as I call them, and she found herself involved in human trafficking.
Have you seen this anywhere else in Columbus, or what makes it unique to Linden?
What makes it unique to Linden is I feel like our home's here. Our church is right in the middle of it. And so if we're going to start anywhere, we should start at home. So the Linden area has been our focus at this time. We are seeing a decrease in human trafficking in this area. And so once we see that there's no longer a heavy trafficking area, then we'll probably move to other areas in the city of Columbus.
Mm-hmm. So when you meet with these women and you tell them there are other avenues, does the church have any access to any resources that divert them to other avenues of sustaining life, or what do you do once you kind of contacted them and let them know there's other choices?
Okay. If they decide they want to make a lifestyle change, New Salem has a house that we call Sankofa House, moving away from your past, pressing to your future, where we can house 3 to 4 women at one time, match them up with a Christian counselor. They get HIV/AIDS testing. We match them up with an educational specialist, and we find out what their dreams are. We teach them to look for a job. We have some people that will hire them, find out about their Social Security number, open up a bank account, teach them how to save money, and if they're serious about really making a lifestyle change, we have been able to match them up with a lot of different professionals in the community that can walk beside them, mentor them, and help them on their way. A lot stay, few don't. They return back to the streets because it's the only lifestyle that they know. And so we've been successful, and we have some unsuccessful stories.
Well, what would you say the difference is between the sex trafficking that we hear that happens internationally, where you have children or young women who are brought here to work, let's say dishwashing or supposed to be house helps in some way, and what you see in Linden? Do you see any connection, or is there?
I see a small connection. However, internationally, the average age of entry is 10 to 11. The other thing is, in the international human trafficking, you hear stories where the children have been promised something, promised that their families will be taken care of, promised that if you do this for me, I will provide additional money for your family, promise of education, and then once you're in it, then you realize those promises, they're not true. So we see a lot of the international trade where the entry is younger, and sometimes it's more than one in the family. In Thailand, in Bangkok, it is boys and girls at an early age. In Bangkok, if a family does not have a young female, the youngest male is usually caught in human trafficking, usually coerced into going into human trafficking. So there are little different avenues with the international trade, but at the end of the day, it's all forced slave trade.
Is there anything you would like people to know who are not familiar with sex trafficking in Linden that they should be aware of?
Yes, I would like for us as a community to pay attention because human trafficking is everywhere. It's at many different levels. It's in our schools. It's in our workforce. It's on the streets. If something looks unusual, it is unusual. If you see a child or a teenager, male or female, they look uncomfortable with the adult that they're with, we need to pay attention because having the knowledge that something's going on, I believe we can get more people to call the hotline number, and so that we can help people understand you don't have to stay there. But a lot of times we look away. We know something is unusual, but we don't want to get involved. But we need to get involved.
And do you know particular resources people should look to if they see something that looks unusual? Where would you direct them to?
One, I would direct them to
I know I put you on the spot. It's okay.
You did,
It's
but
okay if you don't know.
that's okay.
You can think of it. It's okay.
Yeah, there are several hotline for human trafficking. The Polaris Project, that's what I was trying to think, to call the Polaris Project and let them know. You could call the police department to let them know. You can call, what is our...
Could they call New Salem?
They could call New Salem, absolutely. Yes, they could call New Salem. If they see something that looks unusual, give us a call. And I'm trying to think of our community place. It is, gosh, it begins with an S. What is it called?
You can tell me later.
Yeah,
Email
yeah,
me
yeah.
later.
I'll tell you later, so you can put it in. Yeah.
I do want to ask if you kind of switching gears just a little bit. I know you were doing you're continuing to do a health initiative in the church.
Yes.
Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, we're doing a health initiative for the women of our church, and it's called Women of Power, I Choose to Live. And what we've been doing, we have had women register, we've interviewed women to find out what their health challenges are. The program is a 12-week program, and what we have been doing is showing them a lifestyle change. It's not a diet. Showing them how to eat fruits and vegetables, showing them how to prepare fruits and vegetables, showing them that grilled chicken, grilled fish is a healthy option, teaching them to drink more water, leaving the coffee and the sodas alone. But it is a lifestyle change, and so far it's been extremely successful. And people say, well, I want to be on a diet to lose weight. It's really not about losing weight. It's about just being healthy. If you eat healthy, you're going to lose weight. Eliminate the sugar in your diet. Eliminate bread, carbs, starches in your diet. Lean more towards fresh green vegetables, fresh fruit, and then you'll notice a lifestyle change. You will begin to lose the weight because of the way that you're making the selection to choose healthy choices.
Now, is that any connection to the community dinners?
It is. It is a connection to the community dinners, but the community dinners are open to those that are homeless, those that have a gap between their subsidized food program. And so on Wednesdays, the meal is free. You come to the community dinner, you can have a well-balanced hot meal. We don't like a cup of soup, a roll, and a glass of milk. I don't eat soup, I don't eat bread. So we try to prepare healthy meals. So if If it's one day a week, that would be the day that you can have hot, fresh vegetables. And we feed the community on Wednesdays. Our numbers have been anywhere from 173 to 210, where people are coming from all over. We have a family from the south side. They ride the bus. They save their money, ride the bus to get here on Wednesday night to get a hot meal.
So anything you would like people to know about the community dinner, maybe if people want to be involved or support it?
If people want to volunteer, they just need to call New Salem. Now, our volunteers, we prefer that they are a membership of our church because it just extends what we offer, our hospitality here at New Salem. But there have been opportunities that you can volunteer, like doing special holidays, Thanksgiving or Christmas, or last night we did a 4th of July piece. So if you want to volunteer on those special days, you don't have to be a member. But if you're a member of New Salem, all you have to do is call us and we can schedule you to volunteer.
Okay. Any lasting comments or thoughts?
The only thing that I would say is that it's a joy to work in the Linden area, because when you think about each one reach one and you see success, it gives you a feeling that this is working.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.